Hey guys, how's it going? Hugh here. I just got back from TWICELIGHTS in LA and definitely it was a really amazing experience. So, for context, I had actually gone. So, this was the first year I went to TWICELIGHTS and I went to TWICELIGHTS in Korea. And saw them there, and that was great, especially because it was all 9 members and they were kind of performing at their best at the time, so that was a really cool experience. And I actually was able to get floor seats there, which was great. And the best thing about Korean concerts is that all the ticket prices are the same. So I had a once membership, once jelly, so I got, second priority, but I still was able to get floor seats. It was kind of further in the back, but very close to kind of like the extended stage, so I was still able to see them very closely when they walked by, but definitely nothing like what I got to see at TWICELIGHTS LA. But let's go into TWICELIGHTS LA a little bit. So it was the day of the concert, I was with my friends, and I had... so we were looking at the merch before the concert. We were deciding if we wanted to go get the merch. Now, I looked at the merch list, and it was definitely very, very much more limited than what they had in Korea, and even any of the other locations. And I was like, yeah, none of this merch looks great, and the quality is probably bad because it's like U.S. clothing. So I decided not to go get merch. At first, if we were gonna get merch, I was gonna get there around 5 o'clock, check in, and then go to the VIP merch pre-purchase time at like 6 o'clock. But I didn't choose to do that because I didn't want to get the merch. So we ended up getting KBBQ before we went to the concert and finished KBBQ around like 5:40, and then we kind of so our friend Ben didn't get tickets to the concert. He didn't want to go because I don't know, one, the tickets cost money, two, he's not a huge fan of Twice, so we dropped him back at the Airbnb, and as a result kind of took a little bit extra time. And when we were all said and done leaving the Airbnb, it was like 6:30, yeah, I'd say like 6:30, and on the way to the forum it was probably about 30 minutes, but was more because of traffic, and also the route we were supposed to go was blocked off because of the event itself for parking. So we had to kind of U-turn, go back, and all in all it ended up being, I ended up getting to the parking lot at like 7:20, and I was like, it says on here VIP check-in is only until 7:30, so my friend was like, just go. So I like got out the car and like ran to the check-in area. Other than that, like time where it was like, I'm like, I hope I get to my tickets. It was an overall very smooth process. The only thing was like I didn't know where the check-in area was, so I had to ask around, but that's not hard at all. But I went to the check-in area. I just showed them my ID, and they basically gave me my my kind of like green wristband that lets them know that I'm VIP for the high touch. It literally says TWICELIGHTS high touch on there, and they gave me some goodies and merch. So this is what I got. So it's like a TWICELIGHTS like transparent bag. It says TWICELIGHTS on there, and inside is a TWICELIGHTS hat, and you get this like little VIP lanyard thing that says you're like a TWICELIGHTS VIP member. On the back it says the date and location, but yeah, I mean, I didn't wear it, I just kept it in the bag. And you also get this like lenticular magnet thing, which is pretty cool. Let's see here if I can get it on camera. So yeah, so you can kind of see it. Yeah, so it's like a lenticular magnet, so that's really cool. And the transparent bag. So that was kind of the VIP goodies that you got. Honestly, it was better than I expected. I didn't really expect much. I think the lenticular magnet really kind of threw it up, pushed it up a level, I guess, for me. I really only expected like the hat and the lanyard and the bag, but that was cool. So it was a clean check-in. I got my goodies, I got my wristband, and going through security was smooth. I went to my seat. I was super sweaty from running around, so I really apologized to the guys that were next to me, But I sat down and the concert still hadn't started yet, and my friends were still able to get to their seats before the concert started, so that was all good. I didn't sit with my friends. My friends they didn't get VIP. They weren't able to get VIP. One of them, Roger, he got VIP for New Jersey, Newark, so he's going to be going to that on Sunday, but I will not. I have an event to go to, unfortunately. But I sat down. I was in section B, row 9, seat 4, which is still very close. Well, it is very close. It's on floor. It's right next to this, the extended stage, the catwalk. So I had really good seats. But I actually didn't end up sitting down at all. I saw a couple people that were standing next to the stage itself. Like, they had like a barricaded area with like people in between the stage, but like you could, people were standing next to the barricades. So I'm like, wait, why am I sitting here? So like probably around like after a couple songs in, like it was after Aftermoon, I just got up and stood up for the rest of the concert. So I ended up standing for like 2.5 hours, which was tiring for the feet, but amazing for the experience and also the fan cams. So definitely worth it. I stood up for 2.5 hours, but the pain on my legs was 100% worth it. My favorite stage was probably Born This Way. I don't know. That's, for some reason, I really like the choreography for that. I mean, part of it is the Lady Gaga choreography, but I don't know. I think just they do it very well. And I really like the outfit for that too. But that was probably my favorite stage, and kind of like one of the best things that I remember. One of the best events during the concert itself was the Candy Bong Ocean. So as y'all know, Mina unfortunately was unable to participate because of anxiety from performing. So she's not going to be performing for the rest of the TWICELIGHTS tour, and I think that she's going to be out until like at least after February, which is a long time. But I'm glad that JYP is able to give her the time to rest, and you can kind of see my thoughts about that, in the previous video, which I will put, up over here, I think. But yeah, it was, it's unfortunate that she wasn't there, but man, did we make them feel the Mina's presence with our Candy Bong Ocean. So I heard that at Singapore that only like half the stadium put the mint green up during Aftermoon because a bunch of people had bought like knockoff candy bongs that couldn't switch colors. So I'm glad that didn't happen in the US, and we were able to get a nice Candy Bong Ocean, which they actually tweeted about on the TWICE official Twitter, and it said like that she is here with us, I think was the official caption, and they showed all the candy bongs, so that was super awesome. And overall, I had an amazing experience. Now, on to the, I have a bunch of positives, of course, and here I'd say are a couple negatives. Not really negatives, but I wish I could have seen more of. So first thing is, US onces. So I'm a US once, of course, and I'm in this category. But man, I was really hoping that we would bring it on with the fan chants. Like, this is the first time they're in the US with their full concert, like their own concert, and I was hoping that everybody would have studied up on the fan chants. But even in my section, where like it's VIP, it's like floor seats, you expect like the sweatiest onces to be there. The fan chants were really weak. Like, everybody was just kind of like singing along to the song, like at the English parts, but like nobody was really doing the fan chant. Like there were people, of course, but like in all the fan cams that I recorded, you could just hear my voice, and that's the only fan voice that you could really hear during the fan chants. Especially for like the more like, you know, not just like the repeating what they're saying, like the, you know, like you nulo zhuo tu wai yi si, or like saying their names. Yeah, that was really disappointing. And the most disappointing part for me was during Stuck, right at the end. So in the Asian concerts for Stuck, oftentimes onces will sing that song along with Twice, and there's parts where Twice actually stops singing because they want to let us sing. So there was a point, well, first off, we weren't singing it because, I mean, understandably, it's the entire song's in Korean, so I don't know the words. I can make them out when I'm hearing, you know, because I've listened to it so much, so when they're singing it, I can kind of repeat it back. But you know, even the chorus, there was a part where GQ stopped singing and everybody wasn't singing, and it was just quiet in the stadium, and that was, to me, really disappointing. I'm like, oh, gosh, we failed her. She wanted us to sing for her, but we couldn't. I mean, I was singing my lungs off, but yet again, I was kind of the only one in my section that was doing that. Of course, you know, I'm not perfect. I definitely messed up on the fan chants. I messed up on the words of Stuck, but at least I tried, I guess, and I was singing my heart out. Whereas it was kind of disappointing to see that, you know, hear that other people weren't really doing that. And there's times where there was like a game where they zoom into certain audience members to like, you know, ask them to do certain things, like make hearts or whatever. And part of it was like, you know, dancing to the choreo of the songs. And there are definitely people who didn't know the choreo of the songs, which I'm like, yes, I'm very, you know, I'm a sweaty once, but I don't know, dude. If you're here at a Twice concert, like, I feel like you should at least know, like, the title tracks, like, the chorus. At least try doing it, instead of some people were literally just, like, you know, flailing their arms around and dancing like they're at a, you know, I don't know, some dance party or something. So that was kind of disappointing. And kind of the last thing for me that was disappointing was actually from Twice. I'm sure they were made, you know, forced to do this, and you know, to try to make us feel welcome. So it was like a good intention, but like kind of executed not so great, was them speaking in English. So it's definitely understandable, like they want us to, you know, listen to them speak English. They want them to speak English so we can understand. But there are, you know, definitely a lot of parts where the translator came in. But the part that I'm talking about specifically is, like, I'm fine with them speaking English. That was great. I thought it was funny. I thought it was cute. But the part that really got to me was, like, when they started, like, near the end of the concert where they start to get, like, emotional. Like, you see this in a bunch of the different TWICELIGHTS, a bunch of the different tours. When they're having their concerts, Fantasy Tour, Fantasy Park, there's, like, part near the end where they start to get kind of emotional because, you know, they've worked so hard. They've, you know, finally gotten here to their first concert, second concert, third concert, world tour, whatever. And I feel like because they were made, you know, forced to speak English in those parts, it was very forced. Like, they don't know English vocab very well, so they can only say a very limited vocabulary. Whereas if they were speaking Korean, I feel like it would have been a lot more heartfelt. It would have been a lot more, you know, from their own heart, which is very evident by Junghyun's speech. She chose to speak entirely in Korean, and she was talking about how it was her first time here in the US, and that she was very sorry, like she was very excited to see so many people here and so many people excited and having a great time, but very sorry that they couldn't come here as a full 9, you know, group of 9 because Mina wasn't there. And she started crying, and, you know, I don't know, definitely hit me. I felt it. And I was kind of hoping that I would get more of that during the concert from the other members, but because they chose to speak in English, it's not their fault. They're, you know, one, they were made to do it, and two, they, you know, their vocabulary is very limited, but it just felt like I wish I could have gotten that from the other members. But, you know, enough of the negatives. Like, you know, the concert was great. It was amazing. It was definitely my best concert experience so far. You know, I've only really been to KCON Japan to see Twice. I've been to like an awards show in Korea one time, and I had Twice in it. And I went to TWICELIGHTS in Korea, and I'd definitely say that this was the best experience so far. Probably a lot because of my seat. I had a really good seats, and being able to stand up and take fan cams was, you know, the best amazing experience. In Korea, I had to sit in my seat the entire time, and I was not allowed to take out my phone for fan cams. So this was a lot of fun, and I had a really good time, and got some really good footage, and got some nice interaction from the Twice members. And oh my gosh, at the end, I can't believe this happened to me. So Sana, she was so there were a bunch of streamers that got shot into the air, and Sana picked a bunch of them up and started making like necklaces out of them, I guess. They're like, you know, she wrapped them around her neck and started putting them together, and she came down, and I have footage of this. She came down and handed, you know, stuck her arm out to hand us the necklace, and it was literally right there, and I couldn't get it. She gave it to the guy right next to me. I was just so salty right there. I'm like, oh, that could have been me. I mean, I'm happy for the guy, but still, you can't help but be salty about that. But, you know, overall, amazing experience. I had a great time. Definitely got my money's worth. I got VIP silver, so I didn't get gold. Unfortunately, I couldn't get gold. They just got snatched up too quickly. But I got silver, which was great because it was like $300 something. The seat was amazing, even though I didn't sit in it. But, you know, the seats around me, if you didn't get VIP, were like $500, $600. So definitely worth the value, and you get a high touch and some goodies with it. And speaking of high touch, the high touch was after the concert. So when it finished, they filed us into a hallway, and we all stood there, lined up for about like 40 minutes. I wasn't really sure where I was in line. Was I in the front? Was I in the back? But it turned out I think I was near the front. So I ended up being like the second or third group to go in and high touch the members. But just kind of for the entire time, it was, you know, kind of sucky to stand there and be like, where am I? What's happening? When are we starting? Sorry about that. I hit the little thing on my mic. But yeah, so that kind of sucked. But going up to high touch the members, there was no cameras allowed. I know some people definitely got the video of it. I didn't. But there was no cameras allowed. And for me, it was definitely very short, as expected. But I feel like, you know, some people probably got better high touches, maybe like the first group or whatever. But some of the videos, you know, they definitely were up there for longer. I literally went up and like pa, 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 pa. Some people got like, you know, a couple seconds, like, you know, more than like a second. It was like 2 seconds, okay? But that's like double the time, if you think about it. But they were able to high touch for a little bit longer with each of the members. So that was a little unfortunate, but, you know, it was expected. It was exactly what I expected. So that was good. It was my first high touch with them. I had a good time. All the members were there. They were smiling. Nyan was, you know, especially interactive, which was great. But, you know, I went through the high touch and you know, finished up and met up with my friends, and left. But I'd say overall, VIP is definitely worth it. For TWICELIGHTS, I had a good experience. I remember watching, like, back then when I bought the VIP ticket at first, I was watching the Blackpink VIP, and I feel like a lot of people said that wasn't a great experience for them, but this was definitely a good experience for me. They did a good job of organizing it. I don't know what happened to the meet and greet afterwards, the group photo. I can't say that because, you know, I didn't have gold. Maybe you could watch somebody with gold and see how that was, but for silver, it was definitely a good experience. Definitely worth it just for the seats, because the seats were amazing, and on top of that, you get a high touch. I mean, if you think about KCON like KCON in the past when Twice was there, Twice high touches were like, I think they were selling for like $500 or something like that, something ridiculous. And the VIP for this is $300, so you get the concert and the high touch. So definitely very worth it, and I had a very good time. So for anybody who has VIP for any of the Twice Lights coming up, whether it's New Jersey or Chicago, I think their experience is going to be good. I don't know how Mexico is going to be, because it's definitely it was different. The way you got the VIP was different, so we'll see how that goes. I'm not sure if it's by Live Nation either, but I had a good time. I definitely wish I was there. I wish I could go to New York, but I had a really good time and can't wait to see them again. I don't know when. I'll probably make a trip to Korea. Like, I don't know. Yeah, I'll see them soon, hopefully. But that was my experience for TWICELIGHTS in LA with VIP Silver. Let me know down in the comments for whoever had VIP Silver, or if you have VIP Silver for one of the future ones, or VIP Gold, what you're looking forward to, or what was your best experience, because I definitely want to hear that. So until next time, guys, I will see y'all later. Peace out.